back with the big board, and we're going to start with what may be some excellent news for air travelers. TSA developing technology that could cut those security lines that annoy us so much way down. Our aviation expert David Curley here with the details. What are they looking at, David?
We're looking at saving you 30–40% of the time you spend in lines, George. Call it the checkpoint of the future. And of course, this is the first place you come. This is the line where you have to come and give your license and your boarding pass. But this could look a lot different in the future.
That frustration of flying, long security lines. But is the day coming when you won't even stop at security? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Total Recall?
No unauthorized weapons allowed beyond this point.
The checkpoint of the future is taking shape.
We're going to start with your 4 right fingers here.
Already, biometrics are showing up.
Nobody's irises look quite like my irises.
No, not at all.
The company Clear is using eye scans and fingerprints to get passengers into line fast.
Next year, we may be using passive iris scanning, which allows you to be identified as you are coming into the lane.
The head of the TSA says if passengers provide biometrics, they might not even need a ticket.
Ultimately removing the need to do document checks for people who are already in the system.
So this could be my boarding pass.
It could be your iris could be your boarding pass, facial recognition could be your boarding pass.
A future imagined in the movie Minority Report. No longer science fiction.
You can move the old-fashioned way.
Here is another change. And here's another change. You see that X-ray machine back there? That is going to change dramatically. TSA and a couple of companies, including Analogic, are testing new systems. This is a two-dimensional. It just sees through the bag. They are trying CAT scan technology now, which actually gives you a 360 degree of the bag. So the person viewing that bag can actually flip it over in the monitor to see whether there's some kind of a knife or scissors or something that shouldn't be there. That is technology that could actually be remotely used, George. Somebody could be in another town, another city, maybe looking at 2 feeds at the same time. That could move lines faster
Pretty wild
as well.
stuff. We also see everybody behind you filling up those bins, and they're coming up with new technology to clear up those bottlenecks as well.
This is called the innovation lane. If you haven't used it, it's really sweet. So look, there's an empty spot right down here. You don't have to wait in line. This guy can go around and go to that spot, pull out a bin, you slide it up here onto this other conveyor belt and go. See, she's telling this gentleman to go around. He's going around these folks who are family. He's taking a little time with his daughter. This guy can jump in, put his bin in, go, and he can go through the scanner while these folks are still working with their bags. Another technology to save you about 30% of your time.
Oh, you're full of good news today, David. Thanks very much.
So instead of getting there 45 minutes before the flight of 30 minutes, George, they get there like 39 minutes before. Pretty good. David, thank you very much. And next coming up, March Madness officially at full swing, and tonight, one of the tournament's favorites, the UCLA Bruins, are taking the court, but their star player, Lonzo Ball's father, LeVar, is under fire for an endless string of interviews boasting about his son, like this one with TMZ Sports.
You think he can be as good as Steph Curry in the NBA?
Heck no. He's going to be better than Steph Curry in the NBA. My son is young. He got time to go. And you only consider him good because he won a couple of championships.
Nothing like a dad who believes in his kid, though. ESPN's Jeff Goodman is joining us now. And Jeff, for years, you've been following the rise of Lonzo Ball and his 2 younger brothers, who are both high school basketball stars as well. But why did their father spark so much controversy with these comments that he keeps on making? And do you think these comments are going to affect his oldest son, Lonzo's career?
You know, I just spoke to LeVar last night, and he said he's not going to change just because the world is paying attention to him and his son. He's going to keep being who he has been, and that's been a lightning rod in college basketball. Think about this. He's compared his son to Steph Curry. He has said that he can beat Charles Barkley in one-on-one. He can beat Michael Jordan. Back in November when I talked to him, he guaranteed that UCLA would win the national title. This is a guy, again, that's not going to tone it down. Right now, there's a lot of people in college basketball that can't really stand him, but then there's a lot of people that really enjoy him. I've never seen anybody like him, any parent in 20 years that I've been covering this sport. He's entertaining. You can't argue that.
Yeah, it was kind of fun to watch this morning. But how about the 2 younger sons? They both committed to UCLA. How good are they?
Yeah, Jello and Mello. One is a senior signed to play at UCLA next year. The youngest is a sophomore who had 92 points in a high school game earlier this year. I've seen them both play. I think the middle one is probably a 4-year player at UCLA, will be a solid player. Now, LeVar has said all 3 of his sons are going to be one and done, meaning they're going to be in college for 1 year and then off to the NBA. The youngest one has a chance. Again, 92 points, can really shoot the basketball, but like Lonzo, he's got kind of a funky form on his perimeter shot. They're going to have to fix that at the next level in college and certainly in the NBA if he makes it that far.
Jeff, thanks very much. Maybe you got a kick out of Jello and Mello.
Massively entertained over here, guys. That was good. Thank you.
But he believed, everybody thought Richard Williams was a little unorthodox the way he believed in Serena and Venus, and maybe he's on to something.
Could be on to
maybe
something.
LeVar's
Right
on to something.